Welcome to the Life Be podcast. In every episode, we dive into the most relatable aspects of life, helping you navigate the complexities of our contemporary world. Let's get started.
Hey guys, it's amazing to be back today. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the world. I'm excited to be back on your screens, on your tablets, on your computers, and everywhere you're watching or listening to this. We're on Apple Pods, we're on Spotify Pods, we're on YouTube, and we're on everywhere you get your favorite podcasts. And today I have an amazing gentleman I've wanted to get on this podcast for a while. He's a busy man. Very gifted, very wise, very humble, very intelligent, super principled. And he was here before me, which is something that never happens. I'm always here before everybody, an hour before. But he was here before me, and I'm humbled to introduce to you the amazing GOAT, APAS. Where do you get this principle? Because first of all, we have this time that has become an international joke, African time.
Yeah, Ugandan time.
And Ugandan time. So most Ugandans like to work on Ugandan time.
Yeah.
And that's when I have meetings with people, when they say 11, I have to make sure I ask them, are you saying 11 African Ugandan time, or you're saying 11 the international time? Because like you, though you're like extreme, I like to be, when I make an appointment with a person, I like to be there an hour before. If it's so close, 30 minutes, because then it gives me time to settle in, get my mind straight, think on talking points and all that. So when people come late, when somebody comes 30 minutes late, guess what? They're an hour and a half late because I've been there before. And normally I'll give them a grace period of 30 minutes. After that, if they're 30 minutes late from the time we agreed, I leave.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Personally, out of principle, and people will say, all you want, no. And they've come an hour late and they said, I didn't anticipate traffic. And I'm thinking, by the time you went to bed, you should know it might get a little crazy at this time. Move earlier. And that's not a principle people here have. Where did you get that?
My dad used to be late. My dad used to be late for almost everything.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to picking us at school, like, basically, vidi.
He would show up when they're about to close.
When they've closed. Kakati, for me, I was like, man, I can never be like that. So I feel like, okay, that negative side of my dad taught me a positive thing. So I said, for me, I can never be late. Even when I have my kids, I'll try to always be on time because I feel like it's important.
Yeah.
You can prioritize work, prioritize all these things, but family is important. Like, if you truly have a family, you try to show them, lead by example. And for me, I learned from my dad that I was like, I'll never be late. And I'm never late for anything. So it's just my thing. I feel like it's principle. Like for me personally, I live my life like that and I choose to live it like that always. I don't like to tell people stories. If I'm ever even going to be late, I'll call you an hour before. Knowing that I know basically best of what I'm going to do and I won't even be late.
Yeah,
I'll
but
probably
you just
be
making
30
sure.
minutes before time or whatever. It will never be late.
Yeah, it will be late on your time, but not on theirs.
It will be late, but it won't be late on yours because I will be 30 minutes there before the time we agreed. But I'll be late on my standards.
Okay.
And why? Just imagine, like, we go for shows.
Yeah.
You're in the industry, so you understand. We go for shows. So just imagine you go for a show, and on that particular show that you've gone for, imagine.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with the sound, something is wrong with the in-ears, something is wrong with this, something is wrong with that. How do you navigate that? How do you navigate that when you have come 30 minutes? 30 minutes late for your own performance. You'll get on stage and start complaining about everything.
I know, yet you could have fixed it earlier.
Exactly. So if you had fixed that earlier, then it would be a different story. It would be a very different story.
So let's go back to your childhood. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Mengo, Chisenyi.
Mango Chisenyi, that's the lower side of Clock Tower.
No, Mengo Chisenyi is close to Pride Theatre.
Yes, I
Then
see it.
come down in Chisenyi, that ghetto. That's where I grew up from.
Is it, that's after the petrol station? I see blue and yellow. What's that petrol station?
I don't know now what the petrol station is, but if you come from that...
it's the road that comes from Bakuli?
Navagedeka. No.
Not up
Pride
that side.
Theatre, the one that just goes down.
Yes,
Leave
or
alone
the one that goes off.
Goes down. This is Pride Theatre, and the road that just goes down. As if you're going to the Kabaka's Palace.
Yes.
That's where we live.
Okay.
Yeah, we grew up from there.
Okay, and you went to school around there?
No. I went to school at Kampala Kindergarten.
Kampala Kindergarten was in Nakasero.
Yeah, in Nakasero. Then I went to Nakasero Primary School.
I went to Nakasero Primary School.
That's interesting. So we share schools. So
I went to Nakasero with, Rude Boy Devil.
Interesting.
Rude Boy Devil, Chameleon, Kid Fox.
Even Kid Fox was at Nakasero.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Same class. Hannington Muyenje, Comedy, whatever.
Yeah.
Theatre Factory. Who else was there? Bunch of people.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of hobbies,
Very many.
that are in the industry, and we went to the same school. It's interesting.
So how come you come from that side all the way to Nakasero?
My dad liked us to be in like the good schools. He tried to make sure that we go to good schools, and so that we network with people who are probably not as not very privileged as us, that were more privileged than us, probably.
Say that again.
We had to go to schools where we had people who are more privileged than us.
Oh, okay.
He tried as much as possible that was possible for us. So he tried. Even like Nakasero, they would return me back for school fees, and yet we were paying 20,000, 22,000. They returned me back home. So we were not as privileged, but my dad tried, and we managed to study in like good schools, and look at me.
Definitely. What did your dad do at the time? Because Nakasero was an expensive school.
Yes, it was. My dad is a mechanic, and by the time I was at Nakasero, he was working at even Kampala Kindergarten.
Yeah.
My baby class, middle and top. He was working at Total in the depot in industrial area as an engineer, so that his work was more like repairing the generators, the cars, the trucks, servicing most of the cars, because he's a mechanic, so he's a motor engineer.
Oh, so he would take you with him in the morning and drop you at school and then go to work?
Yeah. We came to a stage where we would take ourselves to school.
Okay.
But he would come. And even like lunchtime, like my dad would come at lunch with food.
Wow.
And eat with us at school.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing dad.
Yeah, he was
He'd come
always there.
all the way
With food.
every day with
from
food to have
Jaja,
lunch.
With a food flask.
Wow.
Jaja would cook, food flask, he comes with it.
That's so special.
We sit at school for lunch and eat. And I'd never seen any other parent do that in my whole life.
Like in Nakasero, I have a friend who was called, he was my friend then, he was called Amale Ibrahim. They're a Muslim family. But for them, their parents would send a driver and they would drop them lunch. So for us who are less privileged, what we do, they'd give you like 1K for lunch. I'd give him the money and then I'd eat his lunch. But there was very few children like those that got sent lunch.
Yeah.
You'd either eat school lunch or you'd have a little money to buy pancake at the canteen.
Yeah.
So you how many are you in your family? You sound like you're a very neat together family.
Yeah. I have 2 step-sisters, and the ones that I was born with, same home, are 4. So we have we are 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a sister called Diana. Then I have a sister called Liz. I have a sister called Maureen, who is my manager.
Yeah, I saw that
You
one at the
know.
concert. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Joffrey, I have Stereo, and I have a sister called Halima.
His real
She's
name
the
is
youngest.
Stereo.
Stereo is Tony, but Stereo is like
Oh.
his nickname.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Some of us call him Mono.
Just to bother him.
Banter. Yeah.
So how do you then get into music?
Music is my dad. My dad used to play a lot of music at home, and he would also buy tapes, like master tapes, from maybe like Obaka Siwukid or whatever,
Yeah.
and then make copies and sell. So that was his other side job, as he was
Hardworking
working
man.
as an engineer. So we definitely had to listen to music by force. So the music played a lot. So, but I was very interested. Like, you put on the headphones as they are copying, and then you're listening to music. So yeah, and I was used to that, like getting to see him sing when he's taking us to school. He's miming some of the songs that were on radio. So I got a lot of interest, in the music. And yeah, one day I said, maybe let me write something. And I started by copying other people's lyrics, but changing, looking at their lyrics and working with their melodies, but having different lyrics. So that's how I started. And funny enough, kept on building with that. And yeah.
So I just saw a clip actually yesterday that was very interesting. They were interviewing Nassim on one of the TV shows, and he said, I met this young man, he was wearing a Man U t-shirt.
Yeah.
And that young man was you. And he said when you went to him, he was like, this guy is so proud. He thinks he's all that. And then he said, when you started to sing, he's like, whose song is this? And then you said, that was your song. And he was shocked that you were that good and that you could make music that would sound very international.
Yeah.
Who are some of your inspirations that got you to love that kind of music?
Growing up, listening to Bob Marley, listening to Buju Banton, listening to Bounty Killer, Shaggy, Red Rat, like those were like artists I listened to, listening to Jim Reeves, listening to Bobby, listening to Bebe. And these ones came out later.
Yeah.
Listening to some of them, but we're listening to Afrigo. And I think they were really, really good. Like listening to songs like Atonde, songs like that. Like we grew up listening to music. And even when these other artists that are local were doing it, and I was like, okay, getting interested in the local scene as well, there were so many inspirations of mine, like listening to local artists. But international, I started listening to international music before I listened to local music like that. Would listen to the local music, but it was more like international experience, like Michael Jackson, who is my favorite artist of all time. R. Kelly,
You share that with Mother Radio.
Yeah, we give thanks. We give thanks. So, like, listening to people like that, it really, like, built my sound. Like, because I feel like everyone you listen to, you pick something.
Yeah.
You may not know, but you'll definitely pick something and it will be part of your identity. So, an artist is a build-up of so many influences.
Yes.
And whenever I hear someone say self-made and whatever, I just see stupidity. Because there is no way you're self-made. There is no way. It's impossible.
That's true.
You listen to people and you're inspired, and then you build a sound of other people who have done it before you. So that simply means you couldn't do it if they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So if the artists I listened to were never
there, then you'd never be there.
I would never do music. So big up to everyone that I listened to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting thing is, all the people you've mentioned, you sound nothing like them.
Yeah, that's the truth. Because there's also you. And that's the thing. Like, when you see a person like Michael Jackson gave me that understanding. And even Oliver Ngoma, who is my favorite of all time in Africa.
Really?
That's my favorite in Africa.
Interesting.
Oliver Ngoma, I don't know what he's saying, but the melodies. And for me, that's why I'm really good with melodies, is because some of the artists that I really, really like are very, very good with melody.
Yeah.
And that's one of the key things in music. You don't need to even know the lyrics. That's why people like songs like Woo Yo, whatever, Di Da Da Da. It's melodies, melody driven. And for me, that's one thing that I've picked on when it comes to creatives. It's like, man, what's the cadence? What's the approach? What's the bounce to the song? You know, so I look at things like that even when I'm creating my own tunes. Like when you listen to a song, you don't know why you like it, but it's because I know how to make the words bounce. And it's that wordplay, the melody, the cadence, you know, the lyrical approach, like how do you come in here? How do you come in there? How do you change from the first 4 bars to the next 4 bars? Like, how do you flip that? You know, and I learned that from so many artists. So I built everything based off what other people were doing. I may not sound like them, but I've borrowed a lot from them to create what I've created, which is me.
Yeah, because definitely you have a unique sound. It's not dancehall, it's not R&B, it's not hip hop. You can't put it in a box.
Yeah, you are the show, so you can see how many styles I can do.
Yeah,
like I have a lot of styles. I could just go soul. I could go R&B. I could just go rock. I can easily go dancehall. I can easily go zouk. I could mix it up, do reggae dancehall. I could do dancehall R&B. Like I could do dancehall trap. Like it's because my influences are vast. So I can just jump into any pocket and make it work.
Amazing.
We give thanks.
It's actually the thing that Shaka Safari was saying. The one thing he really credits you for is wordplay and melody. I've had personally I have a problem with many of the very good writers in this country, and this is the problem. They pack songs with so many words. Yeah. There's one whose name I won't say to respect his name and business. He's amazing. But this guy, he can write like 1 million words in the first verse. And you're thinking, okay, you've told the whole story in one verse. Yeah. In the first minute, less than a minute, you've said 1 million things. Yeah. Where are we going after the first choruses? Yeah. Then you do the second verse and pack it with... And I think it's an art people need to learn and master, to use few words. And that's the other thing I like about Shaggy. Shaggy is a very brilliant guy with words. He will get words that mean a lot. He will get few words to tell a story because the words are so pregnant that in your mind you actually create the story as he goes.
You do not feel like he's doing too much. Yeah. That's the thing, is like even if it's a lady, something Silver says, like a lady who does too much makeup, atama. Like, why?
It just needs to be enough.
Just do enough. You don't have to do the most. What are you trying to prove? And for me, when it comes to music and lyrics, I think I have more words than so many people. Yeah. But I find a way to blend them and not do too much. Because it's easy for me to say so many things. For example, if I was like doing like lyrics where I say, now drama, now I'm back with a hammer. Got nothing to lose, I'm a suicide bomber. Buli chenkola chikopewa, bad manner. Rhyme zange bazikozesa to get Anna. No biggie, break bread like manna, wickedy. Pull up the hammer, make them stammer. Mulunji muluzungu, now him lose his grammar. Esasiri akulio montonga, Jeff Dahmer. Never on a run, I'm always incognito. Gwemanya musai when you see the mosquito. Cold with smoke, sitegeza mojito. Big is big, I can never be little. Every word is like, let's say I'm trying to do like a lyrical song, which is like deep, like so many words. But at the same time, every line combined makes sense to build through the story to the end. So even if there were many, it feels like it's a story to follow.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it's too packed, it loses so much. And by the way, doing a simple song is one of the hardest
It's the hardest
things.
thing, yes.
You see, a song like Nkwagala took me 6 months to do just one verse.
Wow.
I did like the chorus, and even doing the real chorus you hear was an outro.
Oh, so
And
you
that's
just
what
got it
I
from
actually
there.
made the chorus and deleted the chorus.
Wow.
Because I was actually trying to simplify it, and the outro just sounded more like a chorus than the chorus itself. And I feel like when it comes to art, sometimes like reducing words, if you listen to a song like Abantu, it's simple, one line. Someone can think about just one line. They don't even have to listen to the whole song. And they will start thinking about everything.
They relate to their own experiences of one
Bakulinnyako,
line. Yeah.
ne bakutuulako nga sofa. They step on you and they sit on you. Disrespect. So how do you package that other than me saying, Omanyi, abantu, they have no respect, so and so yankola wati, and
Yeah.
you're talking too much. How do you find a way to package that where you don't say the most? So for me, I feel like less is more. That's why I think I was really good in English when it came to where they told you to, what was that thing where they make you to reduce the words? Like, let's say it's a story and like simplify the words and do a summary. I was really good at that. So I think that also helped.
Where do you get this writing skill? Like, have you gone to study writing as a musician, or you just love poetry? You love where does it come from?
I'll be honest with you. Writing started as a joke, as I told you. I was listening to other people's music, and I said, "Why can't I do mine? Can't I write my own?" Because you remember the newspapers of New Vision that had lyrics.
Yes.
On every Friday,
Yes.
I would always cut out the lyrics. So
Brilliant.
whenever I cut out the lyrics, I had like a lot of paper. So I saw the scaling, how artists wrote music and all that. So I looked at that and I was like, okay. So it's one line has to be equal to the next line. And this has to be equal to that. And, and maybe you could change something in the third one. Or maybe you could do two identical and the last two are not as identical, but the two are identical to the last two in those 4 lines. So I was looking at everything. I was like, okay. And I tried it out. And actually, I was like, okay, I'm getting somewhere. And I kept trying. Because I was writing 365 songs in my S1.
What?
Yes, every day I was writing a song.
Wow.
Every single day, S1, S2, S3, S4, I was just writing music. And I really got good at it because I was doing it every day.
You are rehearsing and rehearsing.
Exactly.
And
That's
rehearsing.
why I was having people telling me they want to write for me. I wanted to laugh. I'm like, you do not know who you want to write for. I actually simplify music so that people can understand it. Because if I go in intricacies of music, it now starts to feel like it's a sci-fi kind of movie. And I don't want to do that because majority of the people who listen, an artist has to make things easy for a
people
fan,
to
digest,
connect with. Yeah.
to connect with.
Yeah.
So whenever the music is very intricate, you are being an artist for artists. You're not being an artist to the fans because the fans are not as deep like that. So sometimes you have to simplify. Your job has to be to simplify. So for me, that is the thing I've learned just growing up and doing it. So doing it has led me to that understanding or the realization of how you actually make music, how it actually connects when you're now gelling with the fans. The fans teach us a lot as well. So you may tend to think that, you've just learned because you're good and whatever. But you learn even off the job that, this works more, or this is easy for them to digest, or that is actually or this looks tough, but it's not as tough as you think. It actually works for them as well. It's melody. Trust me, for me, music is melody. So many songs, like people will say, I like Thriller. Tell him to sing it, they can't. but they know the whole way of
They
how
can
the
tell you,
song goes. And you can even dance on that alone.
yeah.
So for me, I feel like music should be like you did da da da.
Amazing, that one.
It's melody. I had 14 to 15 choruses for that song that had no melody, like the melody I chose. That was the 12th lyric that I took. Because for me, I looked at that, I was like, let me create solfege other than sing words. So I did it and jumped, did other choruses.
What's solfege?
Solfege is the solfas.
Okay.
So it's like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So I was like, di, di, da, da, da. Just like someone would say, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, la, ti, do, re. I was like, yeah, let me find my own.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it. And people don't know why they like the song, but they like it because it's something they can relate to.
That's true.
But it's just that it's done in a different way. And it is inspired by ice cream. So when we were at school,
Which ice cream?
when we were at school,
Yeah.
at Nakasero Primary School, we had sports day.
Yeah.
And sports day, these ice cream trucks or like bikes would always have a melody. Whatever melody they had. That's what I did to people. So why they like Dida Dada is because it reminds them of their childhood.
Oh, wow. That's
And for them,
brilliant.
they think that they like it, or maybe because it's simple. No. You like it because it reminds you of something. But it's just that you can't pick onto that something. It takes you back to your childhood. And that's what music should do. Music should teleport you, move you to somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I make it. I make it to take you somewhere. When you listen to songs like Olumba, there's a friend of mine who came home yesterday, and he told me, man, Apas, I didn't know this song Olumba. I listened to it on the show. That was my first time listening to that song. That's like my favorite song now.
Wow.
It tells my story right now and everything I've been going through. It's like, man, how do you think about this music? The truth is that I don't think. I don't think about music. I just do it. There's no thought. Because if there's too much thought around it, it's going to be very mechanical.
Yeah.
I just let the music write itself. I have a lot of experiences as a person, and so many people have a lot of experiences, and I'm always listening. So when you listen, you then definitely will get stories to talk about. And I read a lot, so I have a lot to say. You know, so I find a way to make it music.
You have an album that has what, 20 songs? How many?
42.
Oh,
My
wait.
biggest album has 42.
Why? How do you even get to the place where you say, I'm going to do an album with 42 songs?
It's courage.
First of all,
It's courage because, first of all,
Yes.
for the 42-track album, I had written 120 songs.
oh, wow.
So you think about the difficulty of me
Of
then
choosing which
reducing
one
the songs.
goes to the
Think
album.
about that. For example, on the 42, there is a song that had to be on. Lumba was supposed to be on that album. I didn't
Yeah.
put it on. There are two other songs on my new album, which is APAS, which has 11 songs.
Yeah.
That had to be on that album. Domino had to be on that album. You know, so there's so many songs. There are actually like 3 songs that had to be on the Bagonza album that even didn't make it but made it on the APAS album.
How do you record? Every time I've talked to you, you have a project you're working on. It's videos, it's studio, and then in there you squeeze time to do Instagram Live, TikTok Live, gym, performances, and endorsements. What's your average day like?
My average day, it changes.
Yeah.
But if on a normal, I wake up at 3 in the night,
Wow.
which people call morning, those who look at it in the right way,
Yeah.
in terms of how they look at time. I wake up, shower, go to studio.
You have a studio in your home?
Yeah, it's at home.
Okay.
One of the best. It's not just a studio, it's one of the best. And I've always wanted a studio.
Yeah.
I actually said it because I suffered a lot working in studios because I had no money. So it was about begging at Imon studio man. So I said I'll have my studio, and I did it. And I'm also doing a visual studio. I already bought equipment for that. Because I really, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I definitely had to spend
Where
on
do you
that.
get the money?
I work, I do music, I perform. So it's actually one of the biggest investments I made after my show. I was like, no, I have to invest in the visual side because I've already invested in the audio side.
Yeah.
I have Genelex, I have one of my dream mics, the U87. I have the right stuff in my setup, like world class. So, and I want that for my visual side. So this year I said I'll buy the first camera and some lenses and then buy a next camera next year. I want to buy the Fuji GFX 100. I guess the man on the camera knows that one. But if he doesn't, then he's slow.
Israel here?
Hey, do you know? Do you know that one? It's new. Yeah. It's like 7,500. Yeah. But it's possible. You don't even have to rob a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you, before we get back even to purchasing all this gear, you wake up at 3 a.m.
Yes, exactly. Going back to that. I wake up at 3, brush my teeth, shower, go to studio. Even if I don't make a song, I can just go in there and just listen to projects, maybe stuff. Then maybe I pick onto something I can improve, or a project I did a chorus and a verse, and maybe I'm thinking about how I could do the other part of it.
Yeah.
I just go in there. Maybe even just research. Go on YouTube, watch a couple of podcasts, do a few things like that. And then I go to gym at 5:30. I drive, go to gym, work out from 6 to 8. Because I usually put in like 3 hours. Work from 6 to 8 or 9, depending on the time. Go find something to eat, go back home. Take a shower. You know, after that, I still do music work, go to studio, do a couple of things. If I have other things to do now, right now I'm doing post-production. We're working on the videos. We're working on doing a couple of things. So there's just a lot to do. So you get to do all these things. And then I watch some movies. Like maybe at around 3 or wherever I eat, do my lunch, watch a few movies. If I have to meet friends, if I have to talk to people online, I do that around that time. At 6, I'm now preparing for my dog food, get Tyson sorted out. At around 7, take a shower, sleep. At around 8 usually. So that's like my usual timetable. It changed because of the concert and the people I have to meet at the time, like because I had a lot to do. And even now, but I'm really getting back in my rhythm right now as I speak. But usually it's that. I just keep my schedule like fixed. And if I have projects to do, because I have a lot of projects, even your projects, I have a lot of stuff to. People are complaining. I'm telling you, my friends from Jamaica who like have projects with me, I've not recorded their stuff. It's because I've not been recording in actual sense. I've actually been rehearsing for the concert, doing a lot of things, looking for money to make sure I invest in the concert. Like there's just a lot going on. There's just a lot going on.
You're just insane. So you basically show up to work at 3 a.m. Like anyone would wake up and go to work in the morning.
Exactly. And when my time is up, it's up. You do not tell me stories of keep going. I used to work overtime way back, where I would like go in studio at night, maybe at around 11, be in studio the whole night up to 6 or even 7, sleep a bit, wake up, do other things, go back to studio. Like I was working too much, but I was not working right. Because I was not prioritizing my sleep, gym. There was no gym for me, no nothing. But when gym was introduced, it just changed a lot of things for me. So I changed my whole schedule. And for me, it's like a 9 to 5. Music is like a 9 to 5. I don't do it for jokes. I know so many people who do vibes. Yeah, those are shallow people who do vibes. When you start doing vibes, you're shallow because you'll never be serious.
You can't create.
Because if the vibe goes, what do you have left? Nothing.
You're dead.
You're not used to actually working like as if it's like a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
When you look at music as a 9 to 5, it's actually the proper way. Because people show up every day for real work, like let's say construction. I want to be like that. I don't want to be a guy who comes and operate on vibes. If you took me in studio right now, I'll go and do a verse. I'll go and do a chorus. Because I can. I'm not waiting to get Simanya inspired. And I don't look for inspiration. I am inspired every day. I'm not looking for that. And so many people go off that. Oh, I'm not inspired yet. Me, it's not that. It will never be that. I work in any pocket. Whether I have 10 minutes, whether I have 20 minutes, I will make sure it works. When I was working at Imon's studio at Southside way back, starting with my music, like, I had no opportunities of like being in studio luxury.
There's
of
no
knowing
luxury,
that you have 2 hours. Which ones? I have no money to pay.
You just have to wait for
I have to wait for someone tell you, and I just
come late,
go
and
into
then you
that
jump
space.
in.
I jump in and record mangu. No opportunity. It's just a window. It's just a window.
So you have to be ready all the time.
You have to be ready all the time. Just imagine if you get a project with Beyonce now, and you have to do it now.
You can't say don't have
can't tell
inspiration.
stories.
I can't. Yeah.
I'm looking for vibe. And if the vibe is not around, then you can't. The opportunity is gone. You know? That's why I look at music like that Eminem song. You better lose yourself for the music the moment you want. You better never let it go.
You only
have one chance. Do not miss your chance to blow. And so many people miss their chance to blow because they are waiting for opportunities.
Wow.
Don't wait. Go for it.
Very profound.
Don't wait for it to come. Go there. I'm always going there. That's why I have a studio at the house. That's why I'm working on all this visual stuff.
Do you have a producer who lives there, or they come in?
I am
Or
a
you do the
producer.
work, then they just come and finalize
Yes,
everything?
exactly. I'm a producer as well. I get ideas. Sometimes I play. And I make sure that I have an idea, then I send it to a guy who is better than me. He refines the idea. If I see something missing, I will know because I know the direction
you're
of
the
my
person,
music.
yeah.
I know what I'm trying to do. He sends it back. I tell him things to remove. He sends another version back. If it's ready, I know it's ready. I'm like, come with the stems.
So you're heavily invested in the whole
Fully
process,
invested.
from writing to
Fully invested to the beat making, to the production, to mixing, to mastering. I'm very engaged. If I don't like something, I don't like it, I will explain. Because I know what it is. And I will let the person know, and the person will do what we want to do, because this is my song.
Yeah,
If I'm not happy with the song, how will I perform it?
I know.
And for me, that's why I feel like an artist should be invested in their stuff. If you're not happy with something, make it be known.
Yeah.
Because in the end, you're going
You're
to have a
stuck
bad
with it.
experience being stuck with something you don't like. You will never even want to perform it. And what energy will you be giving people when you don't like what you are doing?
Very true.
You know?
A few years back, I haven't checked much, but a few years back, you were the most streamed artist on online stores from Uganda,
Yeah.
with literally not many performances,
Yeah.
without a show.
Yeah.
Because you've just done your first show just a few
yeah.
months ago.
Yeah.
How are you able to achieve that? Because music on streaming platforms is a whole nother jungle, a worldwide jungle. How are you able to get in that space and excel at that level?
I'm humbled, but I don't think I excel. And I know so many people say, oh, yeah, Pass, you're very streamed and stuff. Yes, I am. I am among many that are very streamed.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that I create bodies of work. So people buy my albums. Some people are just streamed.
Yeah, that's true.
You get the point. There's a difference between having a body of work,
I have
a catalog.
Please illustrate, because I have had fights with artists. They say, just do singles. Why are you doing albums? And I'm telling them, an album is a whole experience.
Exactly.
I need to hear the first song, go to the second one, feel the whole story of the writer and the musician, where they're going and what they're experiencing when they're
You
making
get to know
that
an
music.
artist more.
Yeah, and people are saying, no. These days, do an EP, 4 songs. And I'm like, no. Because remember, back in the days, you'd go and buy a CD.
Yeah.
Or you'd go and copy a tape. And it was a whole album.
Yeah.
No one was doing singles, EPs. They would do a full-length album that you would play in your whole, like the house, the whole day. And you're enjoying the music.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that, please.
For me, I feel like creating albums is very, very, very important. Because I imagine, artists would do singles. Like, let's say you have 2 songs, 3 songs. If I found 1 song of yours and then I find only 2, only 3, I'm not engaged. But if I find a body of work, then
There's
I am
something
engaged.
for me, definitely.
Even if you have demos, you can release a demo album. Maybe songs where you're not ready as a kid, starting up. People can see and learn from that.
Yeah, and see the
Something
journey.
I actually plan to do.
Yay.
Yeah. So that people know how I started. It would taking
That's a
you
risk.
back.
That's a risk.
It is a risk,
huge
but it's
risk.
yes.
Yeah.
It probably will have a name called the old me.
Interesting.
You get me? But don't get me. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. With streaming and all these things, nowadays it's easy to fake numbers.
Yes.
It's easy to show people that you're successful when you're not. And you can even fake it and make money out of it.
Yeah.
But for how long? And you'll even alienate your audience because you won't have the right audience when you fake things. Because Spotify will push, or these platforms will push to people who don't even exist. And then you won't be in the right places with your music.
Because
And
there
for
will
how
not be
long?
actual people to listen to it.
Exactly. And for how long will you do that? When I tell artists that it's better not to buy likes, not to buy comments, not to buy views, some of them think I'm against them because they believe in fake it until you make it. I don't believe in that. I believe in play your true position as you work towards the position you want to get to. Because
Play a long game.
Yeah, play a long game. But what they play is not even a long game. It's something else. It's fake. You know, and when you work around things like that, you won't even know what to improve.
Yeah.
Because you do not
Everything
know that
about you is a lie.
Is a lie.
Yeah.
And you have no idea, what do I improve? How do I grow? You won't know how to grow. Because whatever metrics you have or whatever is all fake. Then how do you base off that to grow anything about you? You know, so for me, I feel like play your true position. I try to put up my music. I try to let my fans know that the music is out there. And if they wish, they will go and stream it. It's not by force. It's not by force. It is genuine. Like, you come through, if you like something, stream it. You know, and I see I may not even have the most money. Maybe a year I may make even like 30 million maybe on streaming. That's not as much compared to if I'm doing performances.
Yeah.
Because I also do those. And you definitely get a show here and there, where we make actually the most money is actually performances.
Yeah.
And maybe endorsements, which I do well. So sometimes people don't know that because I'm doing all-round things.
How do you let's get to endorsements. How do you get these endorsements? Because I remember back then, I followed you for a while. We're not yet friends. We're not talking. And I was intrigued. Interestingly enough, I would go to Instagram to see your posts because some of them were extremely silly.
Yes.
I remember one day I commented and I said, I think you should become a comedian. Because you got in a time where there was so much noise from musicians doing whatever is going on, politics and all these things. And you do simple endorsements like, what's that? Sums? You're just eating
Jumia,
something, you're at Middle
Downy.
East. And they're funny things.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is very interesting, but you were constantly creating content that was engaging people.
Exactly.
How do you get in that space, and what really inspired you to do that?
To be honest, I'm a funny guy. I'm very serious, but I'm also very silly.
I think you're very serious.
Yeah, but I'm very silly at the same time. So don't take my lack of silliness sometimes for a lack of seriousness. Because I may be silly sometimes, but it does not take away the fact that I'm serious. And I may be serious, but it does not take away the fact that I'm silly.
Yeah.
You get? So for me, I'm well mixed, I would say. And I've been like this since I was a kid. I don't force jokes. It's just who I am. When people are around me, they're laughing because that's who I am. And when people are around me, there's some serious conversation. Like if I go into serious things, we are going to talk about things that are very serious and we'll go deep.
Yeah.
You know, so I know how to juggle both things. And I brought my humor into the marketing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you know what, like that's another side of me. Why not use it for marketing other than, oh, you should buy this product. It's really nice. Anyone can do that. But
That's
if I
true.
make it dramatic, it's actually more fun for someone to watch that and enjoy it and actually even get the message. You know,
Because it sticks.
It sticks. But my endorsement thing starts with Ambition Mission. That is 2014, while I was starting my career commercially. I started with endorsements in the first year. I was working with Ambition Mission. That same year, I was working with Airtel as their digital ambassador. I was on billboards everywhere. I was doing ads. I started off with this.
How did you get into that? Because you were not really doing music at that time.
Trust me, it was random. Like people just felt like maybe they could use me for stuff. Just seeing maybe how I speak on social media or whatever. They're like, maybe this guy could do this. Sometimes people see it in you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, maybe I could
can
do this.
do this.
Yeah, it could actually be something. And funny enough, when we look at going forward, like with endorsements and stuff, it just kept growing gradually. But it started off in the beginning, jokingly, and then it became a thing. And
then it made money for you.
And it made money, and then so many artists started now also getting deals. You know, but I made it work. And now other people, now it's work for them as well. So I'm very humbled to be one of the pioneers looking at things like that. Because we had only Ann Kansime.
That's true.
Doing it, and Salvador, which these were like already like comedians, you know, who are doing it. And artists, it was really rare, like to see, because artists, people
they don't
already
even want,
shun them.
They don't even want to be seen that way. How can I do that? People
do
think I'm
that?
funny.
People
No,
think
it's just music.
I'm a joke.
Yes.
But if you look, like even when it comes to music, I do it on the highest level.
Yeah.
So many artists who act like as if they cannot joke, they cannot even do serious things. Funny people are actually really serious.
That's true.
And people who tend to be serious, very, very serious, are not funny. Trust me. So at least we are well mixed enough that you could do the serious part of it and you could do the funny part of it. What was funny about my show? It was a serious show. What was the feedback on my show? Tick on everything. Say, man, Epa's show was extremely professional.
Yes.
Was extremely on point. They were not just talking about how many people came.
Yeah.
They were talking about the level of creativity,
professionality,
and everything around it. That is what people have to say about you all around. If people are talking about me being serious, say, man, Epa's silly wala. Which is good. When I'm joking, yes, let me be that.
Joke. Yeah.
But when I'm serious, let it also be that. And that is who I am. So if you find me in a space where I'm talking serious things, don't bring up jokes. I will know when to bring them up personally. But it's usually serious because I'm like, yeah, this is a serious topic. You know, someone has to learn from it. It will take away what they would take out from my conversation or whatever I'm saying about that particular topic.
You're passionate about faith. Where does this come from?
My mom. My mom is a pastor, so I grew up from a Christian family. So I tend to be a very deep person with faith and believing. You know, and personally, like, that's one thing my mom likes about me.
Yes.
I really give a lot in terms of okusiga.
Yeah.
I don't pray as much, like, let's say, going to church all the time or whatever, but I pray. And I thank God every day for everything I have. Most of the times we ask a lot, but we don't even see what we have to thank for what we have.
Give thanks, yeah.
And we always asking. And one of my main words is we give thanks.
Yes.
I say it a lot because I'm very thankful. Life could have been much worse, but we are in a good position or things move smoothly. You think other people are not praying to God every day? Things are not moving well for them. But you have the opportunity that even when you don't do much, things happen.
True.
You know, so you have to be thankful. So for me, there's just automatic. It is second nature that I have to thank God. And how would I think as a human being, maybe if I'm mad, that I am here because I am here. I am here because there is someone above me. I may not know. Why do we have faith and belief? Belief is knowing that you don't know. You know, we don't know anything. None of us knows God. We don't know God. We assume God. We believe, and you can only believe when you don't know. I don't know God. I can't say I do. But I have faith that there is God.
So was the church at home or?
Yeah, we have a church at home.
Hey, since your childhood?
Compound. Not since my childhood, but when we got our own place, we definitely, my mom put up a church at home. Okay. It's not with so many people, it just has a few people that come and pray. Because people think a church has to have so many people. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. Even if we are just here, 3 people or 2, it's church. Yeah, as long as you
And how has that affected your work ethic and everything you do?
It's really impacted, and that's why I'm hardworking. The Bible says if you do
Tajana kulya.
Bible says, the Bible teaches a lot. There is a book called Business Secrets from the Bible by Rabbi Lapin, I think. And it just shows you why the Israelites, the people in Israel, are the richest in the world. Yeah. It's because the Bible has a lot of things to teach you about money.
Yeah.
And people think the Bible says, it does not say that. It's what people say. It's their interpretation. But the Bible teaches you to go hard every day.
Yeah, actually the Bible says, God says, He gives our hands power to work wealth.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, we have that opportunity to actually look at the Bible in the right way and use it to actually better our lives. You know, so for me, that's why I have what I have. I have it because of God. I don't have it because of my power. Because how do I have all these lyrics? How? I can't explain it. I can't explain how cool I am, how I know what I know, how I'm so switched on with life, how I'm hardworking. Yes, my parents may have been hardworking, which is true. But you think in my whole family, everyone is hardworking? Nope. Some people are a bit lazy.
Yeah.
Some are hardworking. You know.
So your mom would go to work in the morning and then come and do the church, or
would
she
go
did?
with us. The church was not every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but would go to work with her. Would go to the farm together with my mom and my siblings.
She was doing farming?
Yeah, so we'll go and dig, you know, plant.
You know how to dig?
Yes. I was the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not even me bragging or anything, but I was the best. Yeah, we dig.
So you've seen all sides of life?
Everything. Poverty, nga tuli obukupa, mayuni, obwebindu, balugu. And I laugh whenever people think that maybe I come from a very privileged background because I look privileged. I am privileged because of God and the blessings of life.
And your work ethic.
And my work ethic, it has nothing to do with where I come from. Where I come from was not too nice. But we made it nice. Even our birthdays were nice. It's not because we were rich. It's because we were resourceful. We didn't have resources. We were resourceful. And that's usually the thing people forget. You think you have resources and you'll make it.
Yeah.
There are so many artists who have money. They will never be on my level. They don't have the work ethic. They don't have resilience. These are important things. Tebalemerako. Tebakola nnyo.
They
They
think you
give up
record a
quick.
song and it's done. That's it.
Yes. They think it's easy. It's not easy. There's a lot that goes around a human being to actually be successful. You know? And it really does not mean that talent is enough. Talent is never enough. And for me, that's one thing I learned. I'm not too talented. I'm too hardworking besides the talent being there. The talent is there. But talent is something you sharpen.
Yeah.
Because if you don't nurture it, it cannot become anything. If I showed you my first songs, Oseka, can you laugh now? It's impossible. You can't laugh. I'm a professional, but I've built that from being an amateur. That's how you build and actually become a professional. Everyone that is professional didn't start off as a professional. They worked on their profession to become a top professional. Yeah.
What have been some of your hardest lessons in your career?
My career, I've never had hardest lessons. I've just learned people.
So people.
Because music and everything we do is people.
Abantu.
What
What are the experiences that have taught you a lot with people?
A lot. Even just my concert showed me people lie a lot.
Yeah.
People promise and they never show up. People will tell you A, B, C, D, and actually majority of the close people that you have, they do not want to support you. And there are some people who are very close to you who will support you.
Yeah.
You actually find your friends in tough times.
That's
We're
true.
trying to find ways to make things work. There are so many people that, let's say you pull through for support. Their artists have been posting their shows for the last 10 years since they started doing shows. And they never even said, let me share A-Pass's concert. And I've posted more than 4 of their concerts.
Yeah. Where do you think that comes from?
Envy. Hate.
Okay.
And it's unnecessary because people are we're in the same industry, but we don't need that. I may have not posted you today, but I've been posting you for so many years. On my first one, you didn't even make effort.
Yeah.
I've made effort on more than 4 of your concerts to promote you, to show you love. I'll give you a clear example. I remember when an artist, a big artist, had a concert, and I had to do for him a video to promote his concert. He was so delighted. He sent me a message. He's like, man, bruv, no one has ever done anything this creative for me. When I had mine, I didn't see him support me.
People have amnesia.
Yes, but it's okay. Do you know why it's okay? Anytime you have anything, I will not see it. It's not that I will have a problem with posting or whatever, sharing, but I won't see it. Just like you didn't
Because
see
you know the heart.
Exactly, I understand. And everyone that tried to push me, I'm always going to be there for them. Because in the end, I've always showed you love. And it's not like I'm revenging, but I will just stay away from you. It has nothing to do with hate. I don't hate you. No, but now I know you.
I just know you.
Yeah, so I just distance myself. It has nothing to do with me being bad mind or whatever, or I don't wish you well. I'll definitely wish you well in words, but I will not do it in action. Yeah, you won't see me pull strings to make sure that everything goes well for you.
Yeah.
If you call me and you need some support here and there, I will probably come and support in one way or another. But I'm not going to move an arm and a leg for you like that. Yeah, because you've shown me your true colors. And I learned a lot just with my concert. And I also learned that the people you least expect to be there will actually be there.
Yeah.
And the people who will support you are the people you don't know. Those are the most people that will actually show up for you. Because I saw so many faces I also don't know. And they were the
People
majority.
who believe in your craft.
And they believe in your craft. Always look at your audience. It's the most important. That's why I follow more fans than I follow artists. Because artists feel, artists have this thing of competition. And yet we are not competing. You're not on my level, I'm not on your level. We are all on different
Everyone
levels.
is running in their own lane.
We do different things. We sing for probably a bit of different audiences to a larger extent. We may be followed by many people who are similar, but the people who show up for our things are very different.
That's true.
So for me, I believe in that now even more. Like your fans, those are the people who care about you. Some of the people we work with, they don't wish us well. And it's just the reality.
What would you, as we wrap up, what would be your advice to artists out there, people who are discouraged, people who are trying to start out, people who look up to you?
Yeah.
What would be your advice to them?
I'd advise them to focus on the art.
What do you mean by focus on the art? Because that could mean a lot of things.
Focus on the music. Yeah. If you take care of the music, music will take care of you. If you don't take care of the music, music won't take care of you.
How do you take care of the music?
I try to do it. I try to show up every day. I try to improve it every day. I try to do it with pure intentions. I don't do it with poor intentions. These intentions of making money.
Yeah.
The moment you start looking at the end result, you're in trouble. I've seen so many people do concerts, do shows, and they're targeting money. Mine, I didn't even make the money I had to make.
Yeah.
Why? It's
And
because
yet
I
you
wanted
invested
a
heavily.
dope. I invested heavily,
Yeah.
but I wanted to have a dope experience. I wanted the fans to get something special.
Actually, now that you mention that, I think the problem we have with very many musicians is they forget that music is about experience, and people come to your show to have an experience.
Exactly.
Because they can always listen to the music on radio, but the concert is where they come to experience everything. Yeah.
Now, that's the thing. Now, people look at Kamas more than they look at the art. Yeah. When we're talking about the music business, we're talking Kamas. When we're talking about music, we're talking music. We're not talking Kamas. There is a thin line when you're actually working on songs that may make Kamas sense. And songs that will just be good songs, and it's really maybe very deep, and maybe people may not pick onto it quickly.
Yeah.
It may not make as much. But you have to find a way to blend it. That's why we simplify music. We simplify music so that it makes sense for Kamas. But at the same time, it makes sense for the music. Because you want it to be easily digested. But still, you don't want to water it down for Kamas' sake. Because some people do that.
I get it.
They will try to water down music as much as possible. It will feel gibberish. So that they make business sense out of it. But you have to make sense out of things. You have to find a pocket of how you're going to navigate that.
Great.
It's quite some work.
My last question that I should have asked before, we kind of spoke about it before we started. What's the place of character and respect in the industry?
What do you mean?
How do those two things play into your craft and the artist you become?
My character and respect.
Yeah, for an artist, not just you, as an artist.
Yeah.
How important are those things for you as an artist? Not as a person, but an artist.
As an
whole.
artist out there.
Yeah.
Character, manners, and discipline, I always say, is my motto, will take you places. Your character is key because people watch that. How how you move, how you speak. And it's all in one, actually. Everything you've said is all in one.
Yeah.
People are watching that. Because nowadays people see a whole experience of a person. It's not like back then where you knew Dolly Parton's music, but you didn't know her as a person.
You don't have access to Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Right now, people have access to you. Don't behave bad. Better name pisa. And for me, I feel like it's very important.
Yeah.
Because that will dictate how far you go. Manners can actually shorten your music career. Where people never kuvako. Just because of how you behave. You get up there, start stepping on everyone, try to treat people with disrespect because you're big. But there's a time to calm down. And that time is coming.
Yeah.
It is always on the way. But when it comes, there are people who are going to lift you because if they feel like, oh man, this guy, we love him. He may not have the heat or whatever, but we love him.
They buy into who you are as a person.
Exactly. That's why people came to my show. It's not entirely just about the music.
The music, yeah.
Because I didn't have a big song. Other people put up a concert because they have a big song. That means you're rolling off the music to actually come through. But even your character can actually help. And it has really, really helped me to be here. So I feel like an artist can buy that. You know, even though I'm not selling, but they can buy it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Anyways, we can talk until the cows go home. Thank you for coming through. It's been a blessing having you here and hearing all this knowledge. How do people find you on streaming platforms and social media?
I am apass.com.
Just that.
Yeah, because there are so many places. You can just write APAS, but IamAPAS.com will show
then
you
it will
everything.
get you everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Any future plans? Anything amazing coming soon? Anything in the works?
Future plan is living here. Yeah, that's the future plan. I come, I walk away from this place, I go home. That's it. Yeah. I don't want to think about the future like that. I'm living in the present.
Okay, so you're working in the present as the present keeps moving.
Yes, exactly. What do I know about tomorrow? What tomorrow may bring, I don't know. So if I starting to tell people, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it may not be that. I may change my mind. So all I think is I just want to be a good human being, push my music, keep doing what I'm doing. And I hope it takes me to the places I don't even imagine I'll ever be.
Great.
I just hope for the best. Yeah, while doing my best at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for watching us. You can go look him up on iamapass.com, where you'll find all the other links of where you like to go find your music, your videos, and everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, click the notification button so you can always know when we have new episodes out. Have a great time. Life be. God bless you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Life Be podcast with Sami-K. Your support means the world to us. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and share to help us grow and continue bringing you valuable content. We appreciate you.